Well, while Rob Callister is with us and we've done an item about the TT, I thought now with the MUA, you're now in charge. So this is your another could be seen as a poison chalice. I mean, this is very challenging times, being very serious because we see the gas prices rocketing. This is going to come to hit you at some point, right? Because you rely on that gas.
We are under extreme financial pressure at the moment. We are fortunate that Tynwald agreed a pricing strategy in October 2018. I have my first meeting on Friday, and one of those items for discussion is what the price setting will be in 2022. Now, as I've said, there was a pricing strategy introduced through Tynwald, and it clearly said that we have to follow inflation set in September, and we know that figure was 5%. But there is also the extreme financial pressure due to the wholesale price of gas at the moment, and we know that our Pulrose power station runs off natural gas. So we are trying to get through all of this, and hopefully we're not going to see a significant price increase due to the wholesale price of gas at the moment.
Do you hedge?
We do, and the team done an amazing job to hedge the prices over the last year. But obviously going into 2022, we know that the price per therm is still extremely high. It's nowhere near the 30 or 35 pence per therm it was when we hedged last year. So when we go into the next year, the financial year, we've got to try and navigate a way around to try and get the best price we can.
How does it work with Manx gas? So do you hedge with them, or do you have to hedge with the people?
No, we get the gas for them and just pass it straight through with no uplift.
Right, because obviously it's been very volatile, but there's nothing but going up. So that has to be passed on, right? Because
there's a lot of pressure. You said this is a poison chalice. I think Manx Utility has been a wonderful brand. I think most people on the island absolutely get behind this brand, and I'm proud to be the chairman. But I think just as I come into a brand new position, I'm coming in at probably the wrong time when we're facing so many pressures overpricing, not just for electricity, but we're also looking at sewage, and we've also got to look at water. So there's some really difficult discussions to have over the next week or so in order to set the direction for 2022.
It's only going to be up. The question is by how much. I mean, you just flagged a massive thing there because people have got fixed incomes. Businesses need to know what they're doing.
And this is why we introduced a pricing strategy in 2018 in order to give that certainty and the clarity. It's a 5-year strategy, and it gives a very clear direction of how much people can expect to see their utility bills increase. Now, what I've said is that target normally is set around the September inflation figure, and we know that figure was around 5%. So that is potentially, something on the horizon for customers to accept, possibly in April next year. Obviously, we've had the volatility of the wholesale gas prices over the last year. We've hedged a certain percentage of our gas, but obviously there was a percentage that wasn't hedged because you never hedge 100%. So that has obviously increased the cost to the organisation. We're going to discuss all them on Friday, and hopefully on the back of that, we'll be able to make an announcement probably in December of what people can expect their utility costs to increase in 2022.
When are you going to go green? I mean, when are these wind turbines, either onshore, offshore, solar panel farms, whatever, is this going to actually come here to the Isle of Man? Because it seems now more important than ever.
I think you're right, but we have only just started this green agenda and this journey, so it's a conversation that Manx Utility
has been around for a long time.
Agreed, but the Isle of Man has not really grasped them. We do get some renewable energy, especially from Sulby Reservoir. There is other renewables that we can capture, but we need to really start to put a stake in the ground and say, right, this is where our renewables are. We do have an AC connector to the UK, so we do get some energy from there. The question maybe is that we look at a second AC, maybe into Scotland or Republic of Ireland, to give us another option. We know that Pulrose Power Station is coming to the end of its natural life. We know that Peel Power Station is coming to the end of its natural life. So these are big conversations that we're going to have. How are we going to future energise the Isle of Man with regard to its energy supply?
Do you believe in green energy yourself? I mean, would you fight to have some wind turbines put on it's not safe, but somewhere that's not in someone's backyard. I mean,
well, there was an idea to actually have a 20 megabyte watt sort of wind turbine up a windy corner or something. I think there is a combination, but I think we're not going to be able to rely 100% on renewables such as wind, tidal or solar, because they're just intermitting sometimes, and you'll need a lot of storage to capture that.
Well, tidal is one thing you can rely on, of course.
We can, but technology's still a long way behind, so I still think it's about 5-10 years before we really capture that. But realistically, we've got our own territory seas, which we could extend the wind farms there. These are all the discussions.
Are you still talking with all those companies that want to?
I haven't personally. I've only realistically been in the post a week and a half. I've had discussions.
But we see wind turbines on the horizon, and they're not even ours, of course.
They are. They're just outside our 12 mile. Now that may be a conversation that we allow some of them to come in. As I say, we're at such an early stage here, but we do need to start making some serious discussions, especially around our power stations.
But you're flagging basically here that obviously, and I think everyone's ready for it, there's going to be price hikes in all departments. You just said everything there. Everything you have control over is most likely to be going up, isn't it?
I think the pressure from the world markets at the moment is telling us that all utilities, especially with inflationary increases on the horizon, all utilities, all food prices are heading in one direction. What we've got to do as an organisation is trying to minimise that. Now, as I said, we have that pricing strategy from 2018. It's very clear what the will of Tynwald has set. I'm fixed by that. If I don't like it or the board doesn't like it, then I have to go back to Tynwald to ask for that structure to be changed. But as the newly elected chairman, I have a pricing structure in place until 2023. However, there is also some scope in that to increase costs if we get a situation like we've had with the worldwide wholesale price for gas, which has just happened over the last few months. I'm hoping that we can offset a lot of those costs and try to keep any increase that comes in 2022 to a minimum. Okay,
that's flagged up. When will we be hearing where we're standing? I mean, when are you going to announce all these different
I'm hoping
bits
we'll make.
These days?
I think we have to make the decision by the end of December. I personally would not like to see any increases over the winter months, because people are already having to accept that 27.5% increase through Manx gas. Obviously, food prices are increasing, other costs are increasing. I really don't want to be adding to people's woes and worries at the moment, especially over a winter period. Right. So we're looking at this on Friday. It is a board decision. I am only one individual on that board. I'm the chairman, but I'm guided by the executives and I'm guided by the board. But my own personal view is I want to try and keep any increase to a minimum.
And incentivizing people who do the right thing, having the electric cars, having PV, solar panels on their roofs. I don't know if anyone's got any wind turbines, but it's never been. Well, I think the prices came down on the solar panels.
They came down by a penny.
Yeah.
There's obviously
sounds like the wrong way. You want to be incentivised, don't you?
Yeah, I think again we've got to incentivise people to use that, but that again is a discussion we've got to have, and that's on the agenda also for this week.